The Mystara project is proud to present part 34 of the Creatures of Mystara series. In this video, we take a look at beetles. Normal-sized beetles are common to all areas of Mystara, except polar and seawater locations. They are harmless unless they contaminate food or form into insect swarms. The first-level clerical spell, Purify Food and Water, can restore contaminated food. Scarab beetles are revered by Nithians and others, who carve gems into their likeness, which are used to create magical scarabs of protection. Indeed, the hollow world kingdom of Nithia's copper coin is called the beetle. Zeligar's workroom in Quasqueton, in the upper Arkelos valley of Karamikos, contains a jar of beetle bodies. In the village of Gaia on the shores of Lake Aist, in the raging river valley of Norvold, Gaiarians feast on a swarm of beetles. The dryad, Lotus, uses an insect messenger spell to instruct a water beetle to contact her fairy allies at the bottom of Loch Yardee, in the southwestern Canolbarth forest, if she is in danger. At the Golden Court of Ethengar, gambling on beetle races is popular between off-duty warriors and dwarfs. Swarms of beetles can be encountered on most islands of the Sea of Dread, every 14 to 18 days. On Insect Island, beetles and worms are prevalent, and will contaminate unguarded food. In the unplaced setting of Thunder Rift, small beetles crawl all over the smoked meats and preserved foods, in the larder of the Barracks Keep ruins, located in the southern Gauntlin forest. Beetles also infest desk drawers, in the study of Barracks Keep. In a cave of the Red Hand Goblin Lair, located in the northeastern burning hills of Thunder Rift, small beetles, worms, and other lowlife swarm over the stored food. Beetles can be found on the bark and leaves of the great trees of the dark jungle, on the southern part of Orc's Head Peninsula. Giant beetles were introduced on page 31 of the 1981 Basic Rulebook. They come in 3 varieties, namely fire, oil, and tiger. Fire and oil beetles have the equivalent armor class of banded male, while tiger beetles have the equivalent of plate male. Fire beetles are 2.5 feet long, with 1+2 hit dice. Oil beetles are 3 foot long with 2 hit dice, and tiger beetles are 4 foot long, with 3+1 hit dice. Interestingly, the latter 2 beetles are classified as man-sized. Fire and oil beetles move at the same speed as unencumbered humans. Tiger beetles are 25% quicker. All 3 types use a bite attack. Average damage is 5 for fire, 3.5 for oil, and 7 for tiger beetles. Oil beetles may also squirt oil at a target within 5 feet. If the oil attack hits, painful blisters form on the affected area, which penalizes hit rolls by 10%. The blisters take 24 hours to clear up. They can be healed earlier, with a Cure Light Wound spell, which does not heal any hit points, only the blisters. Fire beetles are usually found underground in groups of 1 to 8. Above ground, they are usually only encountered at night in groups of 2 to 12. Oil beetles are encountered in the same numbers as fire beetles, but they are usually found in plains and woods, only occasionally being encountered underground. Tiger beetles wander caves in groups of 1 to 6, and can be found in plains and woods in groups of 2 to 8. The giant beetles have saving throw success chances ranging from 25 to 45%. Their morale ranges from disinterested for fire beetles, to average for oil beetles, to determined for tiger beetles. Only tiger beetles have treasure, most likely the possessions of victims. 10% of tiger beetle encounters may yield 50 CP and 50 SP, on average. 5% may result in 50 GP, a gem or 2, and 2 or 3 jewels, on average. 2% of encounters may lead to a special treasure and a magic item. Fire beetles have 3 glowing glands that may be extracted and used to illuminate a 10-foot radius, until they expire after 1 to 6 days. As low-life creatures, they have 0 intelligence, and are neutrally aligned. Giant beetles are found in wilderness areas of the Emirates. The gnomes of the Falun Caverns, in the Hardanger Range, raised giant beetles for food and fiber in various cave ranches. The beetles escaped their ranches when the kobolds overran the gnomes in BC 490. Most now run wild in the southern part of Falun Caverns, hunted by the kobolds for food. The kobolds have managed to domesticate some beetles, which are located on 2 farms, that were a gnomish arts and entertainment center, and a service guild. Jelly, slimes, and pudding creatures feed on the beetles that wander into their cavern. Kobold shamans of Hersismus each have a staff that can charm a creature of 3 hit dice or less per day. They use these on beetles and other creatures. Part of the kobold defense tactics is to drive wild beasts toward intruders. Giant beetles and giant ants are the most effective creatures. The museum in the Chambers of the Ancients under Mount Kiata, on the island of Tekinoraria, contains a stuffed specimen of each common type of giant beetle. They are also found in the forested and cavern areas of the Kerathar Mountains, in the west of the continent of Alphatia. Giant beetles are found in the Sind Desert. They are found throughout the plains of the Hollow World, including the northern plains of the Azcan Empire and the Tanagoran Plains. They are also found in the northern temperate forests of the Azcan Empire. They are found in the steppes of the Gennite Holdings. They are also found in Malfegi swamps. They are found in the Mylenian Empire. They are also found in the jungles of the Nether lands. Giant beetles inhabit the kingdom of Nithia. They can also be found in the Shatanalfan caverns. Fire beetles are kept in small cages on a wall in the library of Quascoton, in the upper Arkhelos Valley of Karamikos. 5 hungry fire beetles inhabit 2 caves in the Minotaur section of the Caves of Chaos, northeast of Castellan Keep in Karamikos. 3 fire beetles can be encountered in the foundry on the second tier of the Great Pyramid of Kini Dkr. A wandering fire beetle can be encountered on the grounds, dungeon or first level, of Lion Castle in the Ethengarian Steppes, about every 40 hours. 2 hungry fire beetles are eating the carpet in the library of Castle Caldwell, west of Threshold, in Karamakos. 2 to 5 fire beetles can be encountered about once every 4 nights in the Dimrak Forest. 2 to 5 fire beetles can be encountered every 5 nights in the open terrain of eastern Karamikos. 2 to 5 fire beetles can be encountered about once every 4 nights in the hills and mountains of eastern Karamikos. 2 to 5 fire beetles can be encountered once every 5 nights in eastern Hutaka. 2 to 5 fire beetles can be encountered once every 10 nights in western Hutaka. 1 to 4 fire beetles can be encountered every 3 days, in the basement of Kevorkian's Manor, located about a mile northeast of Penhaligon, in Karamikos. Fire beetles can be found in the caverns of the Black Spires Mountains. A giant fire beetle carcass is among the many carcasses in the larder of the Manscorpions Temple of Scorpios, in Upper Red Auckland. The troglodytes of the Wormhaven Caves in the River Fork Woods of Karamikos raise fire beetles as cattle for meat, lamps, and guards. 1 cave is used as a kennel for 5 guard fire beetles. The troglodyte shaman uses beetle carapaces for shelving and a cauldron. Many fire beetles have been devoured by a carrion crawler living in the caves. 2 groups of 4 hungry fire beetles are likely to be encountered when exploring the Temple of the Shield, in the ruins of Zadreth, east of Threshold, in Karamikos. Although flightless, they flutter their wings to try to scare off enemies. 2 fire beetles are extending their cave lair, under Mount Dread, in Karamikos. 1 to 6 fire beetles can be encountered every 12 hours on average, in the caves of Abu Gabar, in the highlands of Dithysthenia. 1 to 8 fire beetles can be encountered on Thanagir Island every 288 days on average. Fire beetles are found in the caverns of Gracalia, under the Plain of Fire in the Great Waste region. Some oil beetles, and a few tiger beetles, also inhabit this cavern system. 1 to 6 fire beetles can be encountered every 40 hours on average, in an old silver mine in the Burning Hills of the Thunder Rift region. 1 to 6 fire beetles can be encountered every 40 hours on average, in the Underkeep of Hearthhome, in the far northwest of Thunder Rift. Gnomes in the Red Hand Goblin Lair of the northeast Burning Hills of Thunder Rift use fire beetle glands for light. They also have a beetle farm, currently occupied by 6 hungry fire beetles. Among the rubbish in the room are the beetles' eggs, which are fist-sized whitish objects, shaped like small watermelons. Magic users may be willing to pay 100 GP for each egg. In the Mages ruins under Hearthhome, 1 to 8 fire beetles can be encountered, once in every 40 empty rooms entered, on average. 4 oil beetles are breaking into food crates, in a storeroom, on Tier 3 of the Great Pyramid of Kini Dkr. A wandering oil beetle can be encountered in Lion Castle in the Ethengarian steppes, except the eastern dungeon and tail tunnel, about every 40 hours. 6 oil beetles feed on goblin bodies, killed in a battle between the vipers and wolf skulls, in the Dimrak forest. 8 oil beetles lair in rooms on the second floor of Castle Mystara, north of Threshold, in Karamikos. Giant spiders prey on them. An oil beetle is in a cavern under the Orc Caves, in the Vufold Hills, northeast of Stalenford. 1 to 6 oil beetles are encountered every 50 hours, on average, around the Lost Axe Lake Woods, in southeastern Glantry. Oil beetles are found in all woodlands and uninhabited hills of the 5 Shires. Oil beetles can be encountered on Thanagir Island, every 288 days on average. A tiger beetle can be encountered in the secret statue room of the Palace of the Silver Princess, in the Valley of Haven, in eastern Karamikos. 5 tiger beetles can be encountered every 16 hours, on average, on the 5th tier of the Great Pyramid of Kini-Dkr, in western Alasia. A tiger beetle can be encountered about every 40 hours, in the Lion Castle complex, except levels 4 and 5. Tiger beetles are found in all woodlands and uninhabited hills of the 5 Shires. In Upper Bugburbia, 2 tiger beetles ambushed and killed 4 yellow orcs of the yellow ugly pignose's horde. A tiger beetle can be encountered every 12 hours, on average, in the ruined Temple of Ariana, in a remote area of Glantry. 2 of them are feasting on a robber fly, their favorite food, in a sick room of the temple. A slain Glantrian villager, and a dead tiger beetle, lie on the floor. Tiger beetles can be encountered on Thanagir Island, every 288 days on average. 3 tiger beetles can be encountered in the showers and laundry room of the Fighters Academy in the Gloomfens of Thunder Rift. Earthquake beetles were introduced in the 1986 module, M2, Vengeance of Alphax, on page 30. They are created by a machine, which was invented by the entropic immortal fiend, Alphax the Dark. Their thick carapace gives them an impressive -6 armor class. They have an equally impressive 40 hit dice, and are 100 foot long, with 10 black furry legs. They move 50% faster than an unencumbered human. They prefer to burrow, which they can do at half their normal movement speed. When burrowing, earthquake beetles create tremors in a 100 foot by 100 foot area. These tremors reduce all small buildings to rubble, crack larger buildings, trigger rockslides on hills and cliffsides. 1 in 6 creatures in the area of effect fall to their death in cracks opened up, unless they save versus death ray to avoid falling in. They can attack with 4 legs and a bite. Each leg kicks for 4 to 40 damage. The bite does 6 to 36 damage. If they are reduced to 50% or below their maximum hit points, they may breathe a 60-foot long, 30-foot wide, cone of acid, as a dragon breath attack once per week. The damage is their current hit points, with half damage for successful dragon breath saves. They are solitary creatures, very rarely encountered. They save as a 36th level fighter, only failing 5% of the time. They have determined morale, fleeing only 27% of the time. They have animal intelligence of 9, and neutral alignment. Earthquake beetle treasure can be found in their guts. Half of them contain 6 to 36 gems and 6 to 36 jewels. 35% have 1 to 3,000 GP. 30% hold 1 to 6,000 SP and 3 magic items. A quarter contain 1 to 6,000 CP, 1 to 4,000 EP, and 1 to 2,000 PP. A fifth have 1 to 4,000 EP. And 1 in 10 have 1 or 2 special treasures. They can regenerate 3 hit points per day. The only known earthquake beetles are produced by Alphax machines, in a subterranean cavern system known as the Cave of the Beetles, 300 feet below the surface of Norvold. There are 5 machines in total throughout the caverns. Every 20 minutes, one of the 12 images on the monolith machine broadens, and drops off the surface, to form a 3-dimensional, 10-foot-long earthquake beetle statue. The statue expands at 10 feet per round. Once it is 40 foot long, it comes alive and is able to use a bite attack and move around. Once it reaches full size after 90 seconds, it has full functionality. But Alphax has sent an elemental drake called Bill to assist the nobles and heroes of Norvold to stop the machines. This can be achieved by correctly solving a puzzle given by Bill. After a correct solution, a keyhole appears in the monolith, and Bill turns it off with a key. The nobles and heroes are unaware that Alphax is behind this whole episode. This is all part of an elaborate series of distractions Alphax has set up for the nobles and heroes, so they will not be able to concentrate on preventing, or preparing for, the upcoming war between Norvold and Thyatis. Lord Carin Penhaligon lost his arm to a slicer beetle. This is the only mention of a slicer beetle in Mystara-related publications. Conversion of this advanced Dungeons & Dragons 1st edition creature would be necessary to place them in Mystara. They have the equivalent armor class of plate mail armor. They have a substantial 6-hit dice, and are 3 foot long. They move at half the speed of an unencumbered human. Their bite does a potent 2 to 16 damage. If their hit roll is a 19 or 20, a limb is sliced off. They tend to grab the tasty limb and head back to their lair, rather than continue attacking. Presumably, if they roll a 19, but need 20 to hit a target, a limb is not sliced off, as the attack misses. They can be encountered in groups of 1 to 3. They have determined morale of 9. As animal lowlife, they save as fighters of half their hit dice, have 0 intelligence, and are neutrally aligned. They are rare, and prefer temperate forests. 1 in 4 of their lairs will contain a magic weapon. 1 in 200 lairs will contain a matching pair of magical boots or gauntlets, while 19 in 200 lairs will only contain 1 magical boot or gauntlet. Spitting beetles were introduced in the 1992 adventure module, Quest for the Silver Sword, on page 16. Their armor class is the equivalent of leather armor. They have 1-hit dice, and are 1 foot long. They move at half the speed of an unencumbered human. They can bite for 1 to 4 damage, or spit a stream of acid 10 feet. The acid does 1 to 4 damage, and disfigures the target, causing their charisma to permanently decrease by 1. They save as normal humans. They have a determined morale of 9, only fleeing 27% of the time. They have no treasure, and are neutrally aligned. 1 is kept as a pet by Kashoot, the were-rat who controls the ruins of Barracks Keep, in the southern Gauntlin forest of the Thunder Rift region. The beetle usually hides under the bed in Kashoot's lair, which used to be the chambers of the magic user Barik. Giant scarab beetles are known to inhabit the kingdom of Nithia in the Hollow World. However, no statistics were provided. There are rumors of gargantuan beetles, created by the mad wizard, Gargantua. The Traladeran woman, Ilka Lorescu, claims to have a method for killing beetles, both normal and giant. It involves taking the roots of black hellebore, which grows in marshy grounds, and is sold in the best herb shops. The roots are stewed, then placed where beetles frequent. Normal beetles can be used as creepy crawlies, to add to a scene that disgusts player characters. If rations or other food is left unsealed, they could spoil it. For first-level adventurers, or parties without a spellcasting cleric, this could mean running out of food. Normal beetles can also be encountered as insect swarms. Fire beetles are common basic-level adventure challenges, either as planned or random encounters. Above ground, they should only be encountered at night. Killing a fire beetle could provide limited light sources for parties who have run out of torches. Fire beetles are raised as livestock and guards by various underground creatures. They could cause cavern collapse adventuring hazards from their burrowing. Oil beetles provide a bit more of a challenge, with double the hit dice and the close-range oil attack. Whilst they are sometimes found underground, they are more for wilderness encounters. Tiger beetles are another step up, in terms of hit dice and damage. A pair of them would be quite a challenge for a first-level party. Earthquake beetles are suited to Masters-level characters. Their ability to create earthquakes in a 100-foot by 100-foot area can create havoc in settled areas, requiring high-level heroes to have to eliminate them. For slicer beetles, low-level expert characters may be tasked with retrieving an item that was part of a lost limb, taken by the beetle, such as a ring, gauntlet, or boot. Spitting beetles are suitable opponents for low-level characters, but those who value their charisma may be horrified when they are disfigured by the creature's acid attack. Finally, magical bug repellent can be used by adventurers as protection. It prevents normal beetles from touching the wearer. Giant beetles may save versus spells to avoid the effect. Failure means they ignore the wearer. This concludes part 34 of the Creatures of Mystara series, featuring beetles, earthquake beetles, giant fire, oil, tiger, spitting, slicer and scarab beetles.